Hey, what's good with YouTube? It's your boy Rojo. This is the Rojo Room, man. Today, man, we're gonna talk about the homie Guero, upstater from San Jose, and why my opinion on why he decided to wrap up the whole YouTube career, to get rid of his channel, etc. Now, a lot of people said in the comments and got at me in direct messages and stuff like, did somebody get at him and say he had to quit YouTube? Did he get nervous? And all kinds of things, questioning, why I think he left. And this is strictly my opinion. And I don't think he got hollered at, he was intimidated, he was scared of anybody or anything. I think it's more along the lines of he was trying to do something positive and avoid the drama, the trolling, the back and forths, and having to, go to areas that he don't want to go to with shit talking and having to explain his philosophies and whatnot and why he does what he does. I think it's just simply the fact that he went on a podcast, some lightweight drama occurred, and he's a drama-free kind of dude, and he don't want to, be subject to, getting shit talked to him because, he went on some kind of platform that somebody else might not like, or, somebody might think that it's not a good look for him, and so on and so forth. But I just don't see Wedo being the type of individual to be intimidated or be told what to do by another man. I don't know him great. That's my impression. And I just think he had to do what was best for him. Now, in other situations where, people are in certain areas, they're doing stuff that offends somebody that has some type of say-so, you know what I mean, without going into too much detail, and somebody gets at him, I can see that happening. But just not in this case, man. He's talking from his point of view, based on his experiences and his thoughts and whatnot. He's not disrespecting anybody, and he says straight up, he's talking about his life and what he wants to do for himself and his family and what he thinks is right to do for him as a man. He's not discouraging anybody who's doing anything. And he said that right on that live too. He says, by all means, if that's how you feel, you do what you do. He's not there to tell anybody what to do or to be like him or whatnot. But he just feels as a man that he's not doing the right thing by his family and by himself. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's not really going to offend nobody. He's not talking about things he shouldn't talk about. He's not, stepping on anybody's toes, trying to get their money or trying to do whatever they do in their daily lives. But YouTube's an interesting place. Do people get ran off YouTube? I'm sure they do. I can't think of any instances in particular, besides really what happened with Savage. He got ran off YouTube. I mean, but that's a little bit different situation. But as far as people getting at you, like when people know where you live, you're in an area where you're easily accessible, I could see you being like, man, these people might be after me or whatnot. And, you start to weigh the pros and the cons and the risk versus reward and come to the conclusion that it might not be in your best interests to continue doing what people have voiced a dislike for, a distaste for, I don't see it in this situation, man. And I can't really think of any other off the top of my head where, a YouTuber may have got told what to do, like, you got to shut down this channel. I mean, there might have been some active cats from either geographical location, north or south, that might have gotten at that I don't know about, and you think they just got tired of doing YouTube or whatever, this and that. But I can tell you, for a fact, anybody that acts active, that says they're active, that's talking about things on YouTube, or rappers who discuss, certain groups in their songs or, on podcast interviews or whatnot, they're either cleared to do that and they're paying to do that, or they're just a wreck waiting to happen. They're that drunk driver with bad tires and it's raining, straight up. But as far as Weddle leaving, YouTube's stressful to some people. You know what I mean? A lot of people aren't built for trolls. They take it too much to the heart. And I'm not saying this is his situation, but I've seen a lot of people fucking damn near flip out behind trolls and he said, she says, and back and forth and diss videos and, you know, community posts talking shit and, you know, you name it. I've seen a lot of people take it way too serious. You know, myself, man, I don't give a fuck. I don't. You can say whatever you want, man. At the end of the day, there's not a single individual in the world who will ever dictate what I do, what I say, or anything like that. That's just me. Not everybody's built like that. Some people will allow the shit talking to get them so out of their lane that they act out of character. And that's just never going to be myself, you know. Talk is cheap. People are going to talk. Part of social media, a huge part, which makes it so entertaining, is trolling. You know what I mean? I know sometimes my spills might be boring. The lives might get a little stagnant or whatnot. Bam, all of a sudden there's a troll in there. Fucking brings life right back to it. You know, part of your success has a lot to do with the people who watch you, not just because they like you, but they just watch you to talk shit. You know, and as long as it doesn't get too personal, you know what I mean? I let it slide. You can say whatever you want for the most part, but you're not going to do things like put out other people's addresses or diss people that are on my panel. Unless we're on there clowning, there's a difference between, you know, disrespect and having a good time. And those who don't understand that threshold, they get the fuck out of the chat. They get blocked. And, you know, that's the extent of it. Hey, Rojo, you're a punk. All right. You're blocked. I mean, I'm going to quit YouTube now. That's not me. It's not going to happen. Like, nobody's going to go into McDonald's and catch me washing my hands after I take a piss by themselves without a weapon and run up on me. They're going to be in for a horrible rest of their day. So all the little words and whatnot, it does nothing, man. And I think in Guero's situation, it's the same. He's just built different where I'm going to do this. I don't need the money. He's not in it for the money. He's a successful individual. I know about his accomplishments. We've spoke and he's doing well. He don't need the money. He doesn't care about that. But when the drama came, he don't got time for it. He's on some grown man shit. And that's all there is to it. You know, could somebody have got at him and said, hey, you know, you're pushing the wrong kind of agenda that goes contrary to the beliefs of whatever our beliefs are? It could have happened. I just don't see it. I don't see it being significant enough for anybody to give a shit about what that man does, you know? I just think he's built different, wants to push a positive message, doesn't want to be involved in backs and forths and he says and she says and have to listen to dumbass comments. Bro, I get, not so much anymore, you know what I mean? Because I got a good squad of moderators and, you know, I don't bother nobody for one, and I don't say anything that will piss off too many people. You know, I have my opinions and I basically state them and I'm going to talk freely. But, you know, my opinions don't offend other groups, any other kind of groups. I don't have interests that are against any specific circle of people. So, you know, I'm not going to get no hate like that. The only people that don't like me are people like, oh man, you were high in an organization, and you know, then people who can't let that go, that are still in that type of lifestyle. You know what I mean? And the real ones from the groups, they're not in here talking shit. It's only clowns. You know what I'm saying? Real active, savage, with the business, I'm about that life people, they're not on YouTube under a pseudonym. Is that the right word? I think it is. Under some fake kind of name, talking a bunch of shit that they're not capable of. You know, people who want to holler at you, people who want to see you, they're going to see you. They're not going to talk to you about how much of a bitch you are. You know what I mean? So anyway, though, man, I applaud Guero, man. I found him to be a good dude in our conversations. I think he has integrity. And I think he genuinely wishes well for people who've been behind the walls, people who have been in that lifestyle, and wants to see them do better, you know, to uplift their family and their communities, you know, and I think that's his goal. And one thing I'll say about him is, I don't think if he wanted to still do YouTube to push his content, he would. He wouldn't allow anybody to tell him anything. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he just didn't want to hear that stuff, and I don't blame him. It's a handful, but me, I just don't give a fuck. Period. So it doesn't affect me. Everybody's not the same. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents on the whole situation with Guero. I wish him the best of luck, and I hope instead of talking about it on YouTube, he's out there doing it, and I'm sure he will be. And that's that, man. I wish him well. He's all right by me. And that's that. This is your boy Rojo. This is the Rojo Room, and I'm gone.